Nauvoo, Nebraska, a transfer from USC, her second season in Louisville. And we're underway. There's the combination, but that ball missed out of bounds. Anna DeBeer, one of the real stars in college volleyball, wearing number 14, thought she got a touch there. And what do you know, Elena Scott, the libero for Louisville, already with an opening dig. Nina Chajic, 6-foot graduate student out of Serbia, a transfer from Townsend on to serve. She was 10 of 34 against Penn State on Friday night. Serves that ball just out of bounds.
And Tennessee struggled in their opening match against Penn State. They need to find consistency. Again, it's early. It was their first match, but against some top-tier teams, you're going to find out what you're made of really quick. Here
is Anna DeBeer, the co-player of the year last season in the ACC. And Kubik misses that ball out of bounds. One of the marquee transfers in college volleyball. Hayden Kubik, 6'2" junior out of Des Moines, misses that one long over the top. Here's DeBeer. Good flat serve, and that ball shanked out of bounds.
Good flat serve by DeBeer, going from area 1 to area 1, really honing in on Chajic to make sure she passes that ball.
The look from behind, love this from DeBeer.
She's really trying to serve that seam, trying to allow Tennessee to take that ball. Again, good defense by Elena Scott there.
Chopped down the line by Charity Looper, and a big block. Number 25, 6'5", Reese Robbins.
Reese Robbins is a fan favorite here in Louisville. She just comes in with the energy, taking care of business. That's a beautiful job of her setting that block on that right side.
8 of 20 on Tuesday night in the win over Wisconsin. Tough serve by DeBeer. Really, really good start by Louisville. When we talked to Danny Busboom-Kelly, look, DeBeer is an All-American outside hitter, but Coach Busboom-Kelly said, look, it's all about serve and pass for DeBeer. That's what sets up the rest of her performance. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. You're going to see a lot of flat, hard driven. You want to keep it between 40 miles an hour, really hard hitting that seam.
Looper again from about 9 feet off. Good high flat shot. And that ball off the edge of the block and out of bounds. Much needed swing by number 4. Peyton Chapman, the 6'3" freshman out of Colorado. Here is the libero, was outstanding on Friday night. Sydney James, 6-foot sophomore out of Northfield, Minnesota. Played sparingly last year because they were so good in so many areas. Charity Looper off the outside, the high flyer. Looper wearing number 4 in red, 5'9" senior out of Dallas, Texas. Started her career at UCLA, first team All-ACC last year as Kara Cressy goes back to serve.
And when we talked with Coach Eve Rackham-Watt, she said she's going to try her hardest to keep that ball away from the top libero, Elena Scott. So she's going to try to wear Anna DeBeer down, but that pass was money.
Elena Scott wearing number 19 in the white jersey, all ACC, and the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. But the story it's a new addition like we've had in basketball for some time, and I really like it, the official going to the microphone. The ball was called in off the swing from Charity Looper. Tennessee is using one of their 2 original challenges. That ball's
clearly in.
Yeah. You get 2 challenges to start the match, and if you are correct, you basically have an infinite number. If we go 5 sets, you get an additional challenge. So Eve Rackham-Watt and Tennessee, if my eyes do not deceive me on this Labor Day, and they may not be as clear as they once were, but they do not deceive me. That ball was in.
Here's the call.
After review, call is confirmed. Ball is in, point Louisville.
And And what I was going to mention is that Coach Eve Rackham-Watt is a very smart coach, so she might have pulled that out just to settle her team down, because if you get to the back line on a squad like Louisville, this set can run away with you.
Well, that was an expensive slowdown for Cressy. Eve Rackham-Watt now with one challenge remaining for the rest of the match, unless we get to a fifth set. Here is Cressy, who had a big summer. Speaking of that, she and Elena Scott played for the United States. I'll call them college all-stars, because the rest of the Team USA was in Paris at the Olympic Games, but really good experience. They went and played in the Dominican Republic. Here is Mackenzie Plante out of Dripping Springs, Texas. Comes on to serve and play defense for Tennessee, trailing 6-2. Looper again, very good out-of-system set.
Wait for Elena Scott to come in and take that ball away from Anna DeBeer, allowing Anna DeBeer to be an attacker instead of making sure that she's passing and playing defense. So beautiful job by Elena Scott.
Reese Robbins once again, who played very well in the NCAA tournament last year. And here is Naelise Cabello, 6-foot freshman out of Orlando. And I mentioned that there were a number of freshman setters leading top programs. We'll get to some of those other names in a moment. And she's trying to etch her name right there, off to a very good start. Overpass, Looper is right there.
Looper elevating, really tracking that ball and putting it over just so softly. Just being very aggressive, making sure that she has time to go against that slide as well.
Cabello again. It all starts at the service line for everybody. It's about the only sport there is. Nice shot out of the back row by Chilich. It's the only sport where you start your defense with the ball in your hands from the service line. Chilich was the Coastal Athletic Association Player of the Year last year when she hit .342, a dynamic athlete finding her way now and stepping up to Division I. Here's Kubik.
Again, Tennessee working on the outsides for Louisville.
And part of the addition for the 6'2", Sofia Maldonado Diaz comes in. 6-foot senior, the transfer out of the University of Arizona from Guadalajara, Mexico. We'll get more into depth on the 6'2" when time allows. Here is Charity Looper. Big season last year, 11 of 34 on Tuesday night against Wisconsin. Talk more about the 6'2". What are the changes that are made? Who comes in for who? And what positions are filled?
It's interesting when we talk with Coach Danny Busboom-Kelly running the 6'2", she could not imagine any of her players sitting the bench, which is why I say it makes Louisville more dynamic, because they have more attackers. 2 setters, both playing in the back row. You're leaving 3 hitters up at the front of the net at all times.
Anna DeBeer through the block and down after Abby Eckler came on, number 29 in white for Tennessee, to come on and serve. Very good offensive start for DeBeer and the rest of the Cardinals.
And just a nice cutoff by Elena Scott to make sure that she's drifting her platform into where Naelise Cabello can just put that ball money to Anna DeBeer.
And I just caught myself. Of course, it's the Louisville Cardinals and it's the Stanford Cardinals.
We got to get you there. We'll get you there. It's been some years.
I'm there. I'm punishing myself right now. But they're in the same conference now, so it's going to be interesting. The Cardinals against the Cardinals. There is Caroline Kerr back to serve, 5'11" redshirt sophomore out of Champaign, Illinois. Second team All-American last year, led all freshmen in the country in assists. Right side again, good high, hard swing by Maldonado Diaz.
And that is the benefit. Those are the benefits of a 6'2" offense. You saw that Anna DeBeer passed that ball. It left Looper out of an option for the big. And right side is there to attack.
Maldonado Diaz playing for the Arizona Wildcats, 3.5 kills per set before transferring. Pretty good flat serve, but just over the sideline.
And now you'll see the rotations, the subs coming in. You'll see Ellie Glock go to the back row, and you'll see Reese Robbins come in as a right side attacker.
So Ellie Glock comes in for Maldonado Diaz, the second opposite, and Reese Robbins comes in for the second setter, Naelise Cabello. Very interesting system change for Danny Busboom-Kelly. And so far, to pretty good effect. Nice high, hard swing. Number 14, Anna De Beer, off the top of the block. Last year, 3.4 kills per set, hit 245, was 10 of 39, way too many errors, and she would say the same against Wisconsin with 11. But in a winning effort, and she is ace serve. And I was just about to say, Jen, she is never coming off the floor no matter what because she does so many other things.
But look how Chaich moves away from that pass, hoping that it's out, instead of being aggressive and taking that pass. You know that's where she's going to serve. Louisville's just clicking on all cylinders right now.
Tennessee takes a quick timeout. Number 6 Louisville on top, 13-7 in the opening set. Testing to 23 USC squaring off against number 13 LSU in Las Vegas. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern Time. Welcome back to the Yum Center. The semifinals of the national championship will be on December 19th. The championship on the 22nd. And my partner, Louisville
Right
All-American Jen Hoffman, right here. It's not the first time that the national championship has been held in this building. Anna De Beer already with 3 aces. Add to that consistent service pressure. Free ball coming for Louisville. Cressy off speed.
This is where Louisville starts to add in that first tempo offense because of the aggressive serving by Anna De Beer and get Cressy going. She has grown over the years as a middle blocker.
Got a very good look from behind. That serve hard into the tape, but if you get it from behind, and remember this net is 7-4 and 5/8. Jump float, super flat, very difficult to pass. Sydney Janes, if you're on the Tennessee side, what do you try to accomplish to get back into this opening set?
I think you worry about your side of the court, just keeping it as simple as possible with an aggressive serve, just like there. Still eyeing Anna De Beer or Charity Looper. I would go either one.
That means not
Force them to pass.
Not Elena Scott.
Not right into the middle of the court.
One of the very best in the business wearing the white Libero jersey. And keeping it on De Beer. Nice response. Block coming right side to Robbins again. Tennessee played good team defense early on against Penn State the other night, but not this time. Number 25 Robbins again.
And we saw a little bit of this tandem offense from Louisville early on Tuesday. You see Reese Robbins come in instead of staying outside towards the pin. You see her come in for a 7, and she hits right down line. And that's what Ellie Glock brings to the table. She makes good decisions, and she sets her hitters up for success.
Jessica Drapp on the floor now to come in and serve and play some defense. And that, with the kill by Reese Robbins, is a perfect example of the strength of the 6'2", because if she wasn't on the right side, it would be a setter on the right side. You wouldn't have an attacker there at all.
It'd be a lot more free balls, I believe, from an offensive.
Here comes Plante again. Tennessee has led throughout. They got out to a quick 7-2 lead. De Beer at the service line doing most of the damage. Pagron Kong out of the middle wearing number 10, 6'4" graduate student out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Now Emily Beaker out of the middle, she did a good job by fronting PK, as we call her here in Louisville. She did a beautiful job for Tennessee fronting. She just couldn't get a hold of it.
Have I been in town long enough to call her PK?
I think you have.
All right, let's see. That ball drifts out of bounds, but you can see that Louisville, this time with Cabello, trying to consistently put on service pressure against not only Tennessee, but every opponent, to good effect against Wisconsin on Tuesday night. Here is Hayden Kubik, the 6'2" junior transfer out of Nebraska. In 2022, she was the #1 ranked recruit in the country, following in the footsteps of her sister Maddie. Looper, nice shot right into the middle of the defense, into the open area.
And I think what Tennessee did there was they kind of lost where Charity Looper actually was. They're anticipating that she's on that left side, but you have Maldonado Diaz coming in. Another advantage of that 6'2" offense.
Another service winner, this time by Looper. (17-11) is the opener, the lead for Looper. I said 17, it changed quickly on me. Points are coming fast and furious. That ball is tucked down inside by Nina Chaich.
That's good rhythm by Tennessee. Really simple. Caroline Kerr delivering a beautiful ball to Chiach on that left side. Just playing some 1-2 ball. Just nice, simple swing.
We had it on Friday night and we had this conversation. Not only there are a lot of new faces on the floor for Tennessee, but they're in such critical positions. 3 new receivers are all bunched together. New Libero, 2 new outside hitters. So do you receive as individuals or do you receive as a team or as a group?
That's what Tennessee is trying to figure out. They're trying to see how they mold together because it is a system. And we were at Serve and Pass earlier this morning, and Coach Eve Rackham-Watt was talking about the communication. You have to trust each other, and I think that's what Tennessee is trying to figure out.
Working on Chaich. Jane stepping in. Pretty good set out of system. Looper with the over dig, and that's going to be off the hand that time. The setters are always in the back row for Louisville, so you can go up and take a whack.
For Tennessee, notice that that ball came off of Sydney James. Now, Caroline Kerr, in any other situation, would have tried to run down that second ball, but nice high transition play for Tennessee got them the point.
Seeing All-American setter Caroline Kerr back at the line for the second time. Had a very nice conversation with her about an hour before the match, and I asked what her expectations were, what her hopes and aspirations were. So first of all, I want to get this Tennessee program back to national prominence where we were last year and lead us to a national semifinal. And then I want to try out for the 2028 Olympics and make as much money as I can for as long as I can. Ellie Glock back to serve.
She also mentioned just in this season, she hopes to learn that her team can do good things in tough moments.
One-on-one stuff by All-American Anna DeVere.
That is textbook blocking, and that is the play of Louisville. You see Anna DeVere lean in, drop that left hand, and just penetrates the net.
Very good blocker, undersized, if you will, at only 6 feet tall. Nice play by Kiki Granberry out of the middle. Originally a transfer from Clemson, had a very good season, 356 efficiency last year, 4th best in the SEC, and Tennessee could use a lot more of that. But you got to pass in order to get the
pass.
Do you yell at your passers often?
I did.
Of course you
I
did. Speaking of that, look at that delivery by Scott, and it sets up number 13, Cressy.
And again, you're seeing a lot of tandem work from Louisville. You see Cressy go behind the setter. Mind you, in a 6-2, you have 3 attackers in the front row. So that means that Reese Robbins came in as a 1. So you've got 2 first-tempo offenses. What a threat for Louisville.
We will step aside. All number 6 Cardinal on top of the visitors from Tennessee, currently ranked at number 15, 22-14.
You look at this hit percentage as a team, Louisville is hitting at a 611. They only have 1 error on the attack, and that was early in this set when Anna DeVere sailed it out.
611 efficiency should be against the rules, and it's going up from there. Cressy taking command of the overpass.
It's just, again, the aggressiveness of Anna DeVere on that back line that is causing havoc for Tennessee. They really need to make sure they're focusing on themselves, absorbing a little bit of that serve so that they can get some offense flowing.
9 new faces on the side for Tennessee. Their leadership
still gotta pass.
Yeah, you still have to pass, but their leadership is really going to be challenged, and that's Caroline Kerr, the All-American setter. She's got to try to keep her team competing and playing in this wide open as Robbins once again. These are 2 very good setters. You understand why they both had to be on the floor. Boy, that was quick, and to set point for Robbins. Reese Robbins, 3 of 4. Charity Looper, 3 of 7. Kara Cressy, 3 of 3. Set point number 1. And that ball drifted out of bounds. couldn't. Texas looked absolutely superb in a 3-1 win in somewhat hostile territory in Milwaukee. Back with Louisville All-American Jen Huffman. I'm Paul Sunderland. Here is DeBeer.
DeBeer in the net. That was just a little bit of an overpull. That ball was set super tight.
Working on DeBeer, very serviceable pass. And into the deep cross-court corner. That ball is missed just out of bounds. So back-to-back errors for number 14 in red.
Caroline Kerr at the service line is doing a really good job of pushing Anna DeBeer further away from the net so that she has some more predictable offense so the blockers for Tennessee can set up and camp on her.
And right now, Looper and Elena Scott are taking about 80% of the reception responsibilities. Nice play by Looper, pinching against DeBeer, and that ball hit out of bounds by Kara Cressy.
That was better execution, as you said. Elena Scott and Charity Looper are taking a bulk of the court and the passing.
Here is Kerr again. Substitution on the floor now for Tennessee. It's Aaron Jones wearing number 2. Another one of the transfers, Jones, out of TCU, originally from Goodyear, Arizona.
Good start by Tennessee, really aggressive at the service line. Let's see if they can sustain and keep this consistency, because that is what Coach Eve Rackham-Watts is looking for her team.
Anna DeBeer had 3 aces in total. Louisville had 4 aces in the opening set, which is a crazy number, and you can see why. They spend hours in the gym practicing serving. Nice play by Jones. Did not play at TCU, so she is listed as a freshman.
Really like that swing on that left pin by Aaron Jones. She goes nice high hands off of the right hand of Robbins, just trying to edge out the block there.
We talked about the numbers in toto. Nice serve that time by Chaich. We'll get those to you. And right back at you off the edge by Looper.
Yep.
We showed you in toto what was lost percentage-wise last year from Tennessee. They were number 1 in the SEC in kills, number 1 in terms of efficiency. They were second in digs and number 1 in points. That's an awfully good season in the books for Tennessee. And Eve Rackham-Watt, their outstanding 7th-year coach, says we want to get to the point where we just don't have a good year every once in a while. We want to be relevant each and every year. Granberry again.
And that is an example of how Tennessee, it doesn't necessarily need to be a perfect pass, because Caroline Kerr is going to take care of the ball. She has connected with Granberry right there on that C behind the setter.
Emily Beaker, 6'5" redshirt junior out of Hendersonville, North Carolina, on the floor now wearing number 17 in white. Here is James. Kerr flying around, point scoring opportunity not yet for Cubic. Oh, that's really good. High, hard bang by number 4, Looper.
And Charity Looper is a high flyer. She elevates very quickly. What I want to see from Emily Beaker from Tennessee out of the middle is just to square up and penetrate the net instead of floating to her attacker.
Cabello back on along with Maldonado Diaz in this 6-2 offensive formation deployed by Danny Busboom Kelly. Cubic. That ball just didn't get over the top of it and missed it out of bounds.
I think Sydney James should come again, step in, take this ball. Beautiful delivery to Caroline Kerr.
Yeah, just an unforced error by Cubic. Just did not get over the top of the ball. Another very good pass. Back row timing not there. Right side, Cabello Diaz ripping into the cross court.
Sophie Maldonado Diaz really making sure she sees the blocker moving. Emily Beaker not stationary, and she cuts off that sharp angle.
Tied at 5 after Tennessee took advantage for some unforced errors and got out to the early lead. Chaich, and the timing just not there on the back row set.
Tennessee needs to really settle down. They're looking a little bit chaotic. Just nice, simple volleyball. That was better attack from Chiech, and you get a kill.
Very nice delivery that time from Caroline Kerr, going to Chiech in the backcourt. If you're just joining us, it was all number 6 Louisville in the opening set. Went out to a 7-2 lead, doubled up at 14-7 and never looked back. A rare mishandled ball by Elena Scott, and unforced error that time by Maldonado Diaz. Boy, that is a good serve. If you can ace Elena Scott, that's a quality delivery by number 2 in white.
And you can see that Erin Jones is looking to serve that seam between Charity Looper and Elena Scott, knowing that Elena Scott is going to take it. Look for her to go to area 1 again, right at Charity Looper.
Pretty good service pressure. Nice job by Jones. You know, I was thinking about it, and I made a little bit of a mini list about who the top liberos in the country are. I'll get your opinion first. It's a short list. That I think these 3 or 4 have really set themselves apart.
I see your list, but it doesn't have Elena Scott on it.
Well, that's because she's on my big board.
I love that.
I can work off 2 lists at a time.
But you got a pretty good list going there.
Chiech again out of the backcourt, nicely dug. Cabello playing defense in area 1. Boy, love that set to the outside. Very good rhythm, but back to the liberos. I had Elena Ogilvie from Stanford, Lexi Rodriguez, that's a no-brainer from Nebraska, and Emma Halter from Texas. I think she's becoming a star at the L position.
She has lethal attackers for Texas. It's almost 1 in, 1 out. Coach Jarrett Elliott getting into that transfer portal.
Maybe that very good rhythm swing will get number 33, Hayden Cubitt, going. It's going to be, it won't even be 4 contacts, but I'll tell you what, Carolyn Kerr doesn't let many balls get to the floor without 110% effort.
Coach Eve Rackenwatt said her work ethic is unreal. She is wanting to do whatever it takes to see her team succeed.
Tennessee by 2. Here is Scott. Jones has come in and really solidified the reception. Oh, nice play back-to-back by Cubitt. And chopping down the line is Chiech. Very nice effort by Tennessee.
When you work that hard, you will get rewarded. And this is what I think the coaching staff for Tennessee wants to see. Your sense of urgency is always there, and you're on the floor. Tennessee got rewarded with just aggressive play on the floor.
Abby Eckler, wearing number 29 in white, will come on to serve. A couple of magnificent digs that time by Cubitt. Perfect pass. That starts things off. Cressy with a kill inside of Granberry. Louisville has cooled off considerably. They're only hitting .441.
I definitely think that Louisville took their foot off the gas a little bit, especially after that first set. So I want to see them with a little bit more sense of urgency.
I was saying that tongue-in-cheek because they hit almost 700 in the opening set. I don't think you can maintain that. It's going to be a 3-meter line violation. Back row attacker by Cubitt.
I do like the changes that Tennessee has put on the floor. You talked about it. Erin Jones has now solidified that back line a little bit with the passing, which has allowed Caroline Kerr to get some attackers off.
Another perfect pass. And a rip by Chiech. That's good-looking offense by the team in white.
Great decision of adding Erin Jones, just solidifying that passing game, tightening it up a little bit, providing some consistency for Tennessee.
Yeah, she's been a difference maker so far. Very small sample size, but it shows what happens. First ball contact, kind of important in the game of volleyball. Here's Kerr. And that ball, good communication. That's a group of receivers that have worked together for a long time. That time Looper along with Elena Scott. Very good crowd on hand here at the Yum Center on this Sunday of Labor Day weekend. Will be the home of the 2024 NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship. Here is DeBeer. And we'll miss that one out of bounds. So 12-10 is the advantage for Tennessee. 26-5 last year. Lost to Texas in the regional semifinals, an absolute heartbreaker. More on that story as the match goes along. They had a swing to eliminate the eventual national champions. Here's Chajic. And missed that ball out of bounds. Kara Cressy at 6'6" can be a very dangerous downhill server. Oh, look at that.
Right on the money.
Thank you very much, Miss Cressy.
And this is where Sydney James needs to step in and pass this ball, because it is flat and it is going down.
Oh, look at that. I don't think anybody's got a chance. Anybody on that list of elite liberos, that's as good as it gets. That ball out of bounds, and Sydney James, outstanding libero, wearing 14 in the orange jersey out of Minnesota. Big sigh of relief to get Cressy off the service line. Go stand over there. I don't want any more of that. Robbins has been very, very good indeed. Looks so comfortable now in the starting lineup. 4 of 5.
And I love the option that Louisville sets her. They really move Robbins away from the pin, just trying to figure out what success looks like for Robbins. And she has been hitting on all cylinders, as you said, hitting at an 800, 4-5.
The double sub back on. Here is Cabello. Much better passing, much better first ball contact for Tennessee in the second set.
This is why I love the game of volleyball, because of the shifts in momentums. We talked about Louisville kind of taking their foot off the gas. Tennessee has tightened up some things, has found their footing, and that's why they lead by 1.
Well, you start at 0. You get to start all over. That ball missed out of bounds over the top of the block. Maldonado Diaz. But they did get a micro touch as Charity Luper will go back to the line. Good high flat swing.
And I think, yeah, Coach Rackham Watt is going to challenge.
And only has 1 challenge remaining. If Coach Rackham Watt is overruled in this challenge and the call stands.
Original call is touch. Point Louisville. Tennessee challenging that there was no touch.
That is the second referee, Mr. Young Park, and he will take a look at all of the different camera angles, some from us, some internally.
And Emily Beaker was adamant that she did not touch that ball, but I do see a little bit of movement on her right hand.
You mean she's not telling the truth? I agree with you. I do see the... Remember, it's got to be irrefutable video evidence. The call was touch off the block. You can tell by the blur of the ball. This is absolutely the toughest one. People are used to the Olympics, but that's an entirely different system and an entirely different set of economics, quite frankly.
So many angles. I appreciate the hard work that goes into really getting it right here.
Well, this is a big call. I mean,
yeah.
It's a nice bounce back for Tennessee. Yes, Louisville has not been as perfect as they were in the opening set, but Tennessee's done a very nice job making a match of it, at least here in the second, after losing the first.
Right here, it looks like the ball is a balloon in the first look. You see that it might have
Very
been a
close.
touch.
Still waiting for the call. Once again, you get, well, we've got it now. We'll wait for Mr. Park.
Call stands, point Louisville.
Eve Rackham-Watt in her 7th year on the sideline in Knoxville for the volleyball Lady Vols is less than convinced as that call stands. And Tennessee now out of challenges unless we go to a 5th.
And it is a difference maker in this call, but we'll see how Tennessee rebounds from this call. You see Caroline Kerr really talking to the R1 here, saying that was a really bad call.
She wasn't wishing him a very happy Labor Day weekend and enjoy your holiday tomorrow. That's Bill Thornburg, the first referee.
I wouldn't be surprised if Caroline Kerr takes this ball over on the second touch.
Tied at 14. Tennessee out of challenges. Much better passing. And a lot more back row. Good cover by James, but a better block by Pagran Kong, better known as PK, with some help. So we'll head to the sideline. Louisville on top 1-0. And leading by 1 here in the college football lineup tomorrow night on ESPN with Boston College in Tallahassee taking on Florida State. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern time. Not only you an All-American for Louisville, but also you live here in town. How's Louisville's football team going to do this year?
They'll do just fine.
What does that mean?
They'll do just fine.
In the expanded playoff?
They'll do just fine.
All right.
I think they have a lot of pieces that can elevate, especially in the expanded playoff.
All right, all right. College football season underway, college volleyball season underway, soccer as well, a lot going on. Louisville with their first lead here in the second set. And they extend that with DeBeer over the top.
Anna DeBeer is notorious for just really aiming that ball at the end line, doing a good job of spotting those corners.
One of the best all time here at Louisville for the Cardinals. 1,352 kills coming in. Here's Looper. So much better passing by Kubik and the rest of the Volunteers. Good block deflection. And DeBeer, speaking of that, off the end of the block, that's off of Beaker. As a former All-American middle blocker, I want to ask you about this. Danny Busboom-Kelly told us that one of the major reasons he thinks that they're going to, or she thinks that they're going to be better this year is because of the block defense of not only Cressy, but PK. How did you progress? What's the challenge for a middle blocker to get so much better in that area?
I think as a middle blocker, the first thing that you think of is defensive-minded. And I think that Louisville, for the last couple of years with Kara Cressy, they have been more offensive. And now they're transitioning, adding to the game, making sure that they're going back to Louisville volleyball, because you have to remember, Anna Stevens's was very defensive-minded. Amaya Tillman, very defensive-minded. So putting that whole package together for the middles for Louisville is going to take them over the edge.
Here is Kubik. Good overhand reception that time. A chance for Tennessee. They've been slowed a little bit. That ball is set too tight. Nice work in transition, number 17. Beaker with the kill.
Love the hesitation by Caroline Kerr to establish the Louisville middle, making sure they're trying to figure out where to go, and the quick arm with Emily Beaker secures the point.
Kubik again will give you her offensive numbers. Chaich leading the way with 6 kills on 11 swings. I'll tell you what, Kubik is playing some inspired defense right now, as is Elena Scott. Good first contact. Oh, what a block!
I knew Emily Beaker was going to get one. She does a beautiful job of moving laterally. Like I said in the first set, she was aiming towards her attacker, but this time she penetrates the net. When you hustle this hard, you will be rewarded. Good job by Tennessee.
Really good defensive sequence over the last 4 or 5 points by this young woman, Hayden Kubik. Maybe that'll get her going offensively. Smart shot. You say, why doesn't Tennessee get that? Because the ball was placed perfectly.
I think it's about that connection, because you see that Erin Jones is moving, pushing towards that middle, when that really should be Sydney James's position to take that ball so that her attackers can be ready.
Here is Scott, 18-17. Tough flat serve taken by James. A lot of back row. and working well right now for Tennessee. What's the advantage, or what's the tactic now by Tennessee going so much to the back row?
Well, it's in tempo, first off. That was a beautiful job by Haven Kubik. But I'm thinking that was only to get her ready for the front row, because being away from the net, as you see her talking to her setter, she wants it a little bit higher so that she can find some success, because right now she's still struggling in this match.
Here is Eckler again, overpass, and Kiki Granberry says thank you very much.
Just a little bit of a sloppy play by Charity Looper, really relaxing her shoulders, having that overpass, and Granberry takes care of it.
Timeout called by Louisville. Tennessee got out to the early lead here in the second set after losing to Louisville 25. Once again, perfect pass by Looper. And over the end line and out of bounds. Maldonado Diaz has got a rifle of an arm.
Right now for Tennessee, we're getting a new look at the new ruling for the NCAA with the ability to have 2 liberos on the floor. So right now we're looking at Ashlyn King coming in and stepping in area 1 for Tennessee.
Can't play 2 liberos at the same time, on the floor at the same time. Wisconsin plays 2 liberos in and out all the time. Ashlyn King out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, played 31 matches last year. There she is. Tough spot. Tennessee's been passing well. This is an interesting substitution as Maldonado Diaz wearing number 6.
And I would go straight at her, let her initiate herself into the match.
Pretty good first contact. And Chayich. Scott will track that down. You hear the crowd behind us. Elena Scott makes a spectacular dig, and the crowd is going, and then, oh!
Elena Scott was in the tunnel, and she came back to really get the second dig to allow her team just an opportunity to play at the ball. Beautiful job, beautiful hustle by Elena Scott.
And the follow-up dig, she ran behind the signage and then came all the way back in. Unbelievable play. That's a Sports Center kind of play. Reese Robbins out of the middle. It's a nice wrinkle.
And that's what I mean. Louisville has the opportunity to move their hitters around in this 6-2 system, having 2 back row setters. And you'll see Reese Robbins move away from that right side pin because she is quick on that first tempo, as you just saw.
Robbins now 6 of 7. Charity Looper 5 of 11. Very, very good balance for Louisville. That makes it a very tough team to stop. Oh, what a good serve. Jones is roofed.
First, beautiful job by Kara Cressy and Reese Robbins of establishing that block, knowing where that ball is going to be set. Erin Jones there, just kind of a blind transition. She needs to make sure she's over the block, nice and high into the corners. She's way too far off the net to have that ball go right down the middle.
That was a tough chance for number 2, Erin Jones.
Conference schedule. It's not that you're packing it in, you're just playing higher caliber teams.
Louisville is playing an incredibly difficult schedule. Right side to Chayich, and that is kill number 1,000 for number 1, having a very, very good offensive outing.
I like the decision there. Chayich was on the left side as you saw her get her 1,000th kill. And Caroline Kerr, being that vocal leader, she moves her to the right for a kill. Hitting
a very, very nice percentage so far is Chayich. Kerr calling off Janes. Well, it's not Janes any longer. We've had a change at Libero, as you pointed out. Now, Janes is back on, so Tennessee is playing with 2 liberos. 1 in reception, 1 in defense. Charity Looper smartly over the top of the block.
And you'll see Ashlyn King come in and Sydney James go out. So I'm thinking it's the pass, the serve reception versus the defense for Tennessee.
It's a new rule this year. You can play 2 liberos in the same set, in the same match, not at the same time. Camden Schrand on the floor, 5'7" sophomore to serve. Really, really important defensive specialist last year. Smart shot by Looper. Not a perfect set. She made something out of it.
And that's just the way that Charity Looper, again, she elevates so high that she can see when the hands of the blockers are going over. And that time she just utilizes Aaron Jones's hands on the right side.
And going to have to deal with that. Jess Merzick along with Hannah put up big, big numbers against Louisville. Cameron Hannah, really, really good outside hitters. That's Tuesday night, but some business to take care of in the red zone. Here is Schrand once again. Tough serve. Good reception. Oh, what a dig by Schrand. Number 14, Anna DeBeer. You got back row, so do we.
Coach Danny Busboom-Kelly said that Camden Strand had a beautiful preseason, and it is showing and paying off there with a beautiful dig.
Really good comeback by Tennessee to start, but then answered by Louisville. 3 set points for Schrand and the Cardinals. To Kubik. Schrand again, absolutely perfect dig. And Looper. Keeker Granberry extending that 6'3" frame to say not yet. Set point number 2. Good out of system set. Oh, Charity Looper skying into the early evening here at the Yum Center to close out set number 2. Very, very impressive. Been very, very effective. Louisville has taken out number 3 Wisconsin 3 sets to 1, and now leading 2 sets to none over Tennessee. Oh, nice dig by Looper, but Reese Robbins can't track that down. Still playing with 2 liberos are the Lady Vols.
And this time a different libero. We're looking at
Abby Eckler.
Abby Eckler changing into...
Well, we'll see who the other one is, because you can't have 3 who are active. Good first contact by Eckler to Granberry again, and that ball is killed. And just like in the second set, pretty good quick start for Tennessee.
Chaija's just been very, very consistent. I love the aggressiveness also of Granberry at that net right now for Tennessee.
Unforced error out of the back row by Nina Chaich. 6-foot grad student, if you're just joining us, transfer from Townsend State in the Coastal Athletic Association, where she was Player of the Year last year. Mother played for then the Yugoslavian national team, and her father was also a basketball champion in the former Yugoslavia. Pretty good out-of-system set.
And I think that's the set that Hayden Kubik needs. Nice, high, simple, so that she can use that arm she has.
Charity Looper having a really good early evening now. 9 kills on 17 swings. Also an ace, also 4 digs, and good in reception. Must-win set for Tennessee to stay alive in this match. Granberry again. That's what happens when first ball contact is good.
And that's why you see the second libero for Tennessee still remains Ashlyn King. That pass was necessary to establish first tempo. And I think that's something that Tennessee needs to start to do early. Caroline Kerr and Granberry know each other. They've played with one another, so that's the established communication that they need.
On the over dig, Robbins on the joust.
Held on for it for a little too long. Just a little bit.
A little bit. That gentleman you saw in the previous shot was Gavin Watt, who's originally from Scotland. He's the husband of Eve Rackham-Watt. Volleyball, not a big sport in Scotland, and I talked to him earlier today in practice. He had an interesting professional career in France, and then he met Eve Van Rackham when he was coaching at Lehigh, and they were out on the recruiting trail.
And Gavin Watt is pretty upset with that serve that was just delivered right into the platform of Elena Scott.
They share a beautiful young son, Jude. There is Kara Cressy, just underway, third set. Thanks for joining us. Number 6, Louisville, taking on number 15, Tennessee. 2-0 for Ellie Glock, Charity Looper, and the Louisville Cardinals. I tell you, that's found something. Carolyn Kerr finding number 17, 6'5", Emily Beaker.
And this is something from Tennessee that we did not see in their match against Penn State. They were not taking care of those free balls. They were overpassing, but this is a perfect opportunity setting up first tempo for Emily.
Beaker is now 4 of 6. Tight set, smart shot by Reese Robbins. Would she have had that shot last year?
I think that was definitely learned in the spring. Good job by her of finding high hands, making sure that she is behind the ball and pushing it off the hands of the blocker. Robbins
now 6 of 9. Cressy 5 of 7. Again, very, very good balance. Nayelis Cabello on the floor now. Back to that combination, not this time. Good block by Looper along with some help by Kong.
And even though that was not a successful attack by Tennessee, I really like the passing line that they have going with Aaron Jones and Ashlyn King on the back line for Tennessee.
That ball is too tight. Cubic roll. What a good swing.
Nice, high. Let her use what she got, and that's her arm power.
And we spoke with Eve Rackham-Watt. I said, what keeps you up at night? She said, well, what doesn't when you have all these new faces? 9 new players for Coach Rackham-Watt. And one of the most difficult things is getting cohesion with your new 3 receivers. And you're seeing the challenge. We've seen 3 liberos already, so searching for something.
And it's early in the season. They're going to figure it out come conference play because it just gets tougher.
Maldonado Diaz, Sofia Maldonado Diaz, the 6-foot senior transfer out of the University of Arizona and from Guadalajara, Mexico.
And you can tell Maldonado Diaz knows she wanted that nice out-of-system play. Anna DeBeer delivering.
Looper 9 of 18, fill in the stat sheet. Pretty good misdirection, and that ball missed out of bounds by Cubic.
And since Tennessee does not have any more challenges left, that could have easily, I even heard a potential touch, but she has no more challenges.
Good out-of-system set over the top, dug by Looper again. Tell you, Louisville does not let balls fall. Good block touch that time late by Kong. DeBeer for the kill.
And I even think that block deflection went off of the head.
Doesn't matter.
Of Kong, but it doesn't matter because it didn't hit the floor.
Well, but you never give up on the play. That's the key to it for Kong. She was way late, and good chase here by DeBeer.
Notice that Anna DeBeer outran Elena Scott to get that ball. So tough defense on the side of Louisville, paying off.
Louisville on top 2-0 and leading by 2 here in the third. Good crowd on hand on this early evening. I guess it's evening now on this late summer afternoon here in Louisville. Oh, good first contact. Looper again, spectacular dig out of the middle back.
Beautiful transition ball, just keeping it in play.
Look at that free ball pass. Maldonado Diaz.
You win championships when you play defense the way that Louisville has been playing throughout this entire match. Just Charity Looper laying out, and then just the kill by Maldonado Diaz.
And Elena Scott, one of the best in the business at the defensive end, went over to Charity Looper and said, Hoffman from Louisville, I'm Paul Sunderland. Closing out the opening week of college volleyball circa 2024, and what better place to be the home of the national semifinals and championship. Charity Looper with 7 digs so far. Reception has been so much better for Tennessee since since the early stages of the second set.
And I think that was because of that transition into that 2 libero system. Although a little bit disruptive, I think they're finding their way here. Ashlyn King stepped in and did a beautiful job and is continuing.
Tell you, Emily Beeker is earning herself some more playing time. She's been good offensively and in the blocking phase. Oh, interesting. Now playing as a defensive specialist, number 14, Sydney James, got out of the libero jersey and can, by rule, quite legally come in. She's not a libero in this set. She can come in and still produce for the visiting Tennessee Lady Vols. I think we're going to have the first challenge for Danny Busboom-Kelly.
Original call is ball in, point Tennessee. Louisville challenging that ball was out.
So once again, you get 2 challenges. As long as you are correct, you retain them and have an infinite number. You can challenge ball in or out, which is what we're doing now. You can challenge a couple of foot faults. Let's take an early look, and the officials have other looks as well to help them make the correct call. Close. This one's going to take a while. You can challenge foot fault on the service line, foot fault on the 3-meter line, a net fault, touch off the block, ball up or down, a ball off the defender. Here's a bet that ball's out.
And I could make a case if we had the Bolt 6 system to see if that ball just touched the sliver of the line.
Yeah, but if we had the bolts.
After review, call is confirmed, point Tennessee.
Wow, okay, I was wrong again. Wow, okay, I thought the ball was out. Back to the Olympic coverage in the Bolt 6 system. There are no lines per people anymore. Everything in terms of in and out is called electronical. Sydney James, now a defensive specialist, started the match as the libero, on to serve once again. Good swing by Kong and a very, very nice delivery by one of the 2 setters, Cabello. Excuse me, that was Cabello. Kong looks like she's got a little more pop this year.
I mean, she's doing a phenomenal job, especially behind the setter. I know that that's something they've been working on to establish that slide.
Still better passing out of the back row again. Look at Lupa. What a read out of the middle back. Good looking set. Oh, beautiful run. That was Cabello, the freshman setter, with the dig. Looper's going to get to double figures pretty soon in terms of defensive effort. Ball out of bounds. Boy, Louisville makes you work to score a point.
What a tough break for Hayden Kubik. She really just can't find her footing right now, hitting at a negative. But I do love that Carolyn Kerr is really trying to set her up for success, because that was a good swing by her. She just needs to figure out how to contact the ball into the court. Give you the defensive numbers, talking about block.
Looper again has been superb. So there's the difference. Louisville digs the ball and gets a swing. Tennessee digs the ball and they're on skates.
And a little bit of chaos here.
Looper
on the side
now,
of Tennessee, yeah.
Looper now with 9 kills, an ace, 10 digs, and a block. But other than that, what have you done so far? Good reception again. Looper, say no more. And that ball on the sideline, really good swing that time by Chaich.
Looper might be coming from for Elena Scott's job.
No.
She's really working back there. Oh, come on. She's giving her some heat. I'm just joking.
I know you are, and so does everybody else. But Elena Scott, one of the best in the business, and Looper is putting on a show defensively.
11 digs on the match so far, just really diving in. And maybe that's something that she's challenged herself to elevate her game.
Look at that reception, beautifully done. Maldonado Diaz, a rare unforced error for number 6 in red and for Louisville. Louisville hitting 405 before or after that swing and holding Tennessee to 189 so far.
Ball just a little bit too low from Nialise to Maldonado Diaz.
Another good pass. That was diving short. And that's going to be a lift call. Can't be challenged. That's a judgment call. Yeah, Coach Busboom Kelly did not like that. Thought that her All-American outside hitter had fisted that ball legally. Louisville's lead is down to 1. Don't on the overpass. Nice play by Cressy. Granberry, boy, you can see Carolyn Kerr really working her middles now.
I think the breakdown here comes from Maldonado Diaz on that right side, really trying to establish that block. Granberry moving into that 31 position, hitting that seam.
Crowd getting a little antsy. 4-0 run for Kerr in Tennessee. Tennessee got away with one because right in the lap of Elena Scott, and that was a perfect pass. It's an unforced error. Timeout called by Louisville. Tennessee will say thank you very much in a must-win. Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
And not in the way of coming back and being who they were. I think that the pressure, because of the team like Nebraska, I'm looking to see if Harper Murray really owns her craft, is elevating, like we see that Olivia Babcock and Tori Stafford for Pittsburgh have. That's what I'm looking for from Harper Murray coming into this preseason, and elevating, doing a little bit better, handling that pass pressure, because they're going to be eyeing her at every opportunity.
Serving Elena Scott again. Another perfect pass. Tennessee is scoring even though they're serving Scott. And that ball through the hands of DeBeer and down. Just to finish the thought on Nebraska. As a reminder, last year Nebraska made it all the way to the national championship match in Tampa before they were overwhelmed by Texas in that final.
And I'm going to get eaten up for saying that Nebraska has some work to do. But
you love that. You love that.
I want to see them push past that pressure of Nebraska. You've got Merritt Beeson. I have no worries about Nebraska. I'm just wanting to see how they elevate their game, because they were so good.
And see how they navigate the Big Ten schedule. A pretty good conference.
Oh, additional teams. That's going to be a tough conference. UCLA doing a beautiful job.
Yeah, that's a nice win. Alfie Reft in his second year as head coach for the UCLA Bruins with a win over Georgia Tech and a good Georgia Tech team.
And this is a good swing. I think this was the most in-rhythm swing that I've seen from Maldonado Diaz. She gets transition, gets wide outside that right pin, and takes a full rip at it.
Diaz back to serve, and that ball missed out of bounds, and that was an incredibly impressive set by number 8, Nealise Cabello, going against the flow. Chaich will go back to serve. Tennessee won the opening set 25-14, won the second 25-22 after they trailed. And now Tennessee on top again, 15-13 in the third. Must win for Chaich in Tennessee. Really good pass. What a pass by Elena Scott.
What an angle by Elena Scott, cutting off that ball, making sure that her platform is facing Ellie Glock wherever she is, knowing that that ball has to go to the middle, but also very controlled by Glock to get that ball to Reese Robbins.
Tennessee has found something in terms of first ball reception. 3 liberos, 4 defensive specialists.
Eeny, meeny, miny,
they are
moe.
passing at a much, much better rate.
I think they found their niche here, especially whenever you're able to get the middles involved in first tempo. Granberry really executing there on the match. 8 of 9, 0 errors.
Wow. Robbins off the edge of the block and out of bounds. Very efficient. We'll give you the offensive leaders. Sofia Maldonado-Diaz with 10 kills. Charity Luper with 9, but that's not the whole story. She's had a magnificent all-around match. De Beer, not up to her standards, 8 of 23. And Reese Robbins now 9 of 12 with 1 error. Here's Camden Schrand on again. Very good server and defender, and thank you very much.
That is the hardest serve to execute, right in that corner. That takes touch from the server, and Camden Schrand really making sure she has her presence felt.
Area 5 to area 5, and going there again, working on Cubic. And missed it out of bounds.
And because Schrand nailed that ace in the corner, Hayden Cubic has to commit on that pass regardless.
Louisville, a good response to take the 17-16 advantage. Schrand again. Oh. That is a good reception off a very tough serve. And that ball, even that one's not going to be chased down. Really good swing by Aaron Jones down the sideline for Tennessee. She'll go back to serve. Just back to the Big Ten for a moment. Nebraska was picked to win, followed by Wisconsin. I saw Penn State on Friday. They're very good. Louisville will see them on the road. Purdue and Minnesota, those are the top 5 in the Big Ten Conference. Combo!
You gotta love a combo when it's executed. You see Charity Luper, open net, open season.
Saw that against Wisconsin, and Danny Busboom Kelly just about jumped out of the building. Here's Cabello. Been very impressive against Wisconsin, and again here this evening. That ball just drifted out of bounds, but if you're going to put on consistent pressure, you're going to miss some.
I want to go back to the combo from Louisville. Now, what you see is PK pulling that block towards her, that 31, because you have to make sure that you're committing to that first tempo. And most blockers lose sight of their left pin, and Charity Luper just comes right down the middle.
Out of the back row, Cubic, but that's going to be nullified. Violated the 3-meter line on what was a very good-looking swing.
Again, here you see that combo play. Pagron Kong leaves Emily Beaker 0 block. Again, you lose sight of Charity Luper, that left attacker, and she just goes right down the middle.
Louisville doesn't use it often, but every once in a while, it is absolutely spectacular, and you might see more of it.
Dara, you've got 3 freshman setters doing a beautiful job.
Here is Charity Luper, 20-18, once again must win for Tennessee to stay alive in this contest. Louisville goes to Penn State on Tuesday night.
Nialise on the match so far with 15 assists.
Stuff block. De Beer with some help from Pagron Kong.
Way too predictable. Caroline Kerr needs to see that they're doubling on that left side. She should have shot that ball out to Nina Chaich.
I'll tell you, Anna De Beer blocks her position
Much better blocker.
Very, very well. Young players, you watch number 14 in red. She is really good at facing up or mirroring the slide attacker and swing blocking. Service error, 21-19.
And I think that is for Anna De Beer coming out of high school. Hometown hero here. She went to Assumption High School.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
That is the biggest skill that she has elevated on that block.
I remembered, I've been doing this for a while, as everybody knows, but how many Liberos have come from Assumption High School and other really good players? Tremendous program. Look at De Beer pass the ball. Very good. Improved in that area. Maldonado-Diaz, number 6 in red. Perfect offensive execution of being in system. You're around this program a lot. I mean, you live here. What about Ellie Glock? She runs a 5-1 last year. How did she accept? I want my word, a demotion, if you will, to sharing the position.
I don't think it's a demotion. I think that when Coach Danny Busboom, Kelly, and Glock they talked about this preseason, and Ellie Glock just said straight up, I want to win a national championship. So she was mentally adjusted to that 6'2", knowing that she has a lot of pressure taking off of her to run this offense and run these hitters. So she's worried about a national championship. She's not worried about a 5-1.
Good read defensively by both teams. Give you Looper's total. She's been spectacular. Looper now with a dozen digs. And blocked on the outside. Maldonado Diaz with Cressy.
Talk about work. Maldonado Diaz was turning in circles. She established herself here. Cressy comes, seals the block.
Louisville 2 points away from a sweep over number 15 Tennessee. Earlier today, Wisconsin lost in Milwaukee to Texas. Texas number 1, 3-1. What an interesting opening weekend, and it's only going to continue with a lot of the top teams playing one another, which is really, really good for the sport. I mean, you look at Louisville's schedule, and it's just like, really? You really volunteered for that? It's the same for a lot of other schools around the country, so good on the coaches. Carolyn Kerr waiting for a volleyball, and here it comes. Once again, this is the site for this year's NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship. The 19th and 22nd of December. The championship will be on ABC. Good rhythm. Oh, unloading is Anna DeBeer. Crowd on their feet for the first of 4 match points. Match point number 1, Ellie Glock into serve. And with a service ace.
Talk about Louisville